Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you're well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more Reddit stories, and if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too. Let's crack on with today's first story. Much love guys. Now today's first story comes from Traditional Girl 6100 and it says, am I the arsehole here for not allowing my future sister-in-law to use our neighborhood pool? So, some background. My girlfriend, I'm proposing next month, and I currently have an apartment in a very nice neighborhood. We are fortunate enough to also have access to the clubhouse pool, which we frequently go to cool off after we've been working all day. A bit on my girlfriend's sister. She is a little wild and is known for excessive public drinking and causing scenes wherever she goes. Anyway, to the story. Last Monday, my girlfriend got home from work and said that her sister wanted to go to the pool while she was at work. Her sister doesn't really work, only 1 to 2 days a week, and still lives at home. Their conversation looked like this. Girlfriend said, "How are you going to get into the pool without a car to get there and without our key card?" She said, "I will just Uber and I can look around our parents' house for that spare key you gave them." Girlfriend said, "I think they lost it, but you can try." Opie then continues. Now, it was a short conversation, but a few things. 1. Her sister is a known klepto who steals and pawns stuff in order to go to bars. It's happened multiple times at her parents' house where she has stolen things to make money. 2. She does not have a car because she has crashed 5 and cannot have a license for another few years. 3. She's only been in our apartment when either my girlfriend is there or we both are. But reason number 1. Has invited random people over while we were there without us knowing. For the reasons above, I expressed to my girlfriend that I don't think we should allow her into our apartment alone, without one of us present, as well as we could get in trouble with the HOA or complex if she were to get into it with anyone or anything, which could cause issues for us down the road. Along with this, I also said we need to have a conversation with her parents to let them know to either find the key and give it back to us or hide it in a spot her sister would never look. My girlfriend kinda shrugged it off and said that it's not a big deal, she can go to the pool, it's not like anything would happen, and we wouldn't get in trouble if anything were to happen. I feel like if I keep pushing it may cause issues between me and my future sister-in-law, but selfishly, I don't want her around our stuff, but can't help feeling like an arsehole. Am I in the wrong? Edit. I feel like I gotta say this because I did paint her in a bad light unintentionally. My girlfriend is nothing like her sister and that's why I love her. She's hardworking, smart, and genuinely a one-of-a-kind person. As for her family, excluding her sister, they are all hardworking, genuine people, so not sure exactly what happened in the 3-year age difference between the two. For the most part, we're on the same page about her sister. They had a rocky relationship with her and she wants to believe she's changing for the better. But I think it's getting harder and harder for my girlfriend to think that. She cut all contact with her at the beginning of the year, which was a whole thing. But now she's wanting to be the bigger person and try to fix what she can. Absolutely not the arsehole in this situation, and you don't need to be the bigger person. The girlfriend doesn't need to be the bigger person here because, it's up to her to prove herself. She's got a track record of, theft, property damage, crashing 5 cars, bringing random people over without permission, causing public scenes, and your girlfriend is giving her unsupervised access to your apartment and your community, the pool, is no big deal. And we've read a lot of stories about HOAs and they don't mess around when it comes to violations and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, I don't know the ins and outs. I just know the stories that I've read and they're always usually in the negative. So, you have to take what I said there with a pinch of salt. But I'm sure if she was to turn up to the pool, if you did allow her to, and she caused an issue, it would fall back on you in the end because you allowed her to do this. You gave her access. Quite frankly, I wouldn't want her anywhere near the property at all, not even in your house when she's supervised, just because of the past history there. She needs to earn that trust back. That's on her. I certainly wouldn't be putting up with that nonsense. A commenter says, dude, this sounds like a nightmare. Not the arsehole, set boundaries. If the girlfriend can't support and respect them, as well as understand the financial liability her sister causes, Do not propose. Explain where you are coming from. Explain this is a hard boundary, and if she cannot respect it and that you need to think about the future. Opie replies in, let me preface, my girlfriend is usually on my side when it comes to her sister. They've had their own issues and it's just one small thing that we don't see eye to eye with. We're still talking through it all, and overall I think we both think the same regarding this. It's just different to my girlfriend because that's her big sister who's her family. Family is very important to her as a side note. Commenter replies saying, family or not, big sister who acts like a child or not. Liability is liability. You and the girlfriend are on the lease, not the sister. If the sister does something, who is legally and financially responsible? Who will the management company hold responsible? Some rando or the people they have a contract with? Opie says, good point. I texted her and we're going to sit down and talk about it tonight. I will update you all on what happens. Hopefully I won't have to return to the ring. Lol. Commodore says, are you sure you want to marry into this family? This is some serious baggage. Opie says her sister is usually the outlier. My girlfriend and her parents are all hardworking, air quotes, normal people. So it is strange when I think about it. I have almost popped the question before, but didn't because of family. But I actually get along with her parents and extended family very well. It's just her sister, which I'm not sure what to think of. Another commenter says, as someone who worked in property management for both apartments and an HOA, I hated when families would show up to use the facilities without the actual resident, and then get butthurt when asked to leave. If a resident gave their keys to a non-resident and were not present when using the facilities, it would mean they would lose their privileges. Had one warning, second was never again. My boss trespassed a teenage boy and his friends for coming without parents. Rules are rules. She is your guest. You're taking responsibility for her. You're responsible for what she does. You could lose your privileges, and I bet if you read your lease/HOA rules, it will have something stated in there about the use of facilities, which may cause you to be evicted. Opie says, this is great insight into it. Thank you. And the final commenter says to OP, OP, you can ask your management to reissue you new keycards due to losing one. Ask them to deactivate the old ones. Had to do this with an old key fob I lost from my community's pool. Also, being the bigger person doesn't mean giving in. She was already no contact. Being the bigger person is giving her another chance with the exception that boundaries are established and respected. That second part is important for rebuilding trust. Opie says, the issue with the first part is that a new keycard is something crazy like $250, which won't kill me but just seems outrageous. My girlfriend is about to get home from work, so we're about to talk, but I will make an update post tomorrow, letting you all know how it goes. Kinda nervous but also excited in a weird way. I just think depending on how this conversation goes, tells me what I'll be doing next month. So OP does come in with that update and says, first off, I just want to say thank you for everyone's advice, especially those who have been in a similar situation. So last night my girlfriend got home from work and we had a conversation about the whole ordeal. I started off with how many of you suggested I brought up a copy of our lease agreement as well as our HOA/clubhouse rules. In both, it clearly states that any guests who use the facilities provided must be accompanied by the owners of the lease. Failure to do this may lead to immediate eviction or financial liability. After pointing this out, my girlfriend said she understood that part and she's been thinking about how she acted during this whole thing as well. She went on to explain that for once, she just wanted to treat her sister as a big sister and not a kid that constantly needed watching. Well, I guess after giving her examples of ways this could backfire on us, the sister's already thin trust with us. She agreed with me, and we decided it'd be best to do the following. 1. Try and find the spare key from her parents' house and retrieve it. My girlfriend is going to try and do this today. 2. Contact our landlords and have our locks changed. This works out because our front door locks are starting to stick. 3. Set clear boundaries with the sister. This includes not being here unless one of us is present. No invitation to random people to come over. If that is done, she has to leave, and if anything is not followed, then contact will be cut. My girlfriend already sent her a text message about this, and I told her I can be the bad guy if she would like me to. Her mum actually called me today and said that what I did was a very adult way to go about it all, and she appreciates me also standing up for my girlfriend to her sister. The biggest thing that I also think helped was putting this in future perspective with my girlfriend. I laid out a scenario of when we, hopefully, have a house one day and kids as well. Would we let someone who has a known alcohol problem, as well as issues with stealing and safety, watch our children alone? She started to cry and said no. I explained to her that's why we need hard boundaries now, so that they are not crossed in the future when we have bigger responsibilities. I have a few other things to say, so may make an edit, but again, thank you to everyone for their advice. You really put it into perspective for us. A commenter said to OP, not the arsehole, I think you're doing the right thing by setting clear boundaries early on. But I can see how it might feel overwhelming to handle such a sensitive situation with family dynamics involved. What if there's a way to involve a neutral third party to mediate without making things more complicated? Opie says, if it gets to that point to where I need a neutral third party, I will consider it. As for now, it seems like what I did has worked. But who knows, I might be posting again next month. Thankfully, even her parents are silently on my side as well. That will maybe count for something. A commenter, who was downvoted, says, maybe my family is different. But you don't need to ask to come over, it's auto. This is my house and my family's house, and they can walk in and do whatever they want with whoever they want, but clearly we come from two different cultures. So if your girl is okay with it, then by all means. But my man, no, my family is showing whenever they want with whoever they want. OP replies saying it may be a cultural difference, which is okay. I just don't think it's very appropriate to have a family member bring a random over without informing you first. But I guess I could be the weird one. That goes for my side of the family as well. Another commenter says, you handled it super well. Laying out the rules and talking it through calmly was the right move. Just stick to your plan if your sister tries to push it again, because keeping those boundaries firm will save a lot of future drama. Opie says, that's the name of the game now, just keeping the boundaries in place and followed. And the last commenter says, just here to say I'm proud of you. You did the right thing and thank you for supporting your girlfriend. Opie says, I feel like that's part of why I'm here, you know. She has a hard time standing up for herself and I've seen big improvements by her in this. Anytime something happens to her, we always talk it out and maybe different ways to handle it. That downvoted commenter was wild, man, that, you know, my family can walk in and do whatever they want with whoever they want. I mean, what the hell? There's a massive difference between, you know, having an open door policy with trustworthy family or people. You know, that used to be what happened where I lived when I was younger. Neighbors would walk into each other's house, but as soon as someone was disrespecting, you know, people's houses, they just weren't allowed in anymore. It's as simple as that. Doesn't matter if it's family or who. If they come in stealing, you know, damaging property or whatever, why would you allow them in again? Bloody hell. But what do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And let's move on to another story. Now, our next story comes from a throwaway account, and it says, I, 24 female, just broke off my engagement with my fiance, 26 male, because he told me he wasn't ready when proposing. We're going to therapy, but I feel like I gave up already. Help. Hi. So, I, 24 female, and my fiance, 26 male, have been together for 6 years, living together for 2 years, and engaged for 1 year and 2 months. We've been a really cool couple. Same sense of humor, we have common interests, we enjoy the same things. We're basically one person at this point. I thought we had great communication. Turns out, I was wrong. The one thing is, I feel like his mother. He takes no initiative. He doesn't initiate physical contact. Not even mentioning sex here, but it's a bigger problem. No initiative makes me feel really unattractive. He won't ask me out for dates, won't hug me or cuddle with me until I ask. So I do it all. I arrange dates, I try to get closer, to communicate more, and I decide what we do and where we go out, etc. Basically, he comes home from work, 8 AM to 4 PM every day, takes out his laptop and just does whatever. Probably just play games. Then we fold laundry while watching a TV show and go to sleep. Pretty much just living like flatmates or like a very old married couple. I tried to talk to him about it and he'd always say he'll try to do better, and he would for 2 to 3 months, then things would go back to what it was. But here's what broke me. On Monday, I started the conversation again, tried to get him to act and get us couples counseling. Well, we started talking about how he never mentioned getting married since the proposal. I started looking for wedding venues. I drove us to one and suggested we book it. He said he'd rather see more before making a decision. I asked him to look for something and we can go check it out. He admitted now that he didn't even Google that since September, and he basically told me he proposed because he felt like I expected and wanted it, while he wasn't 100% ready. I took the ring off, saying it feels like a lie because it meant something different to him than to me, and he took it, said, "I promise you, I'll give it to you when I'm ready." So he wasn't ready 14 months ago. During those months, nothing changed, and he still isn't ready to be engaged. I loved this man for 6 years, but now it turns out he proposed because he had to. Still had doubts and let me look for wedding stuff, create Pinterest boards, make guest lists while knowing it's all built on a lie. It feels like I proposed to myself while he just stood by and watched. We have couples therapy today, just like he booked it on Monday, but now I have no idea what to do. I agreed because I wanted us to work out the initiative thing, but that was before I found out he didn't really want to be engaged. I'm going there today and I feel like I'm lying to him because I don't think I can continue this relationship after what he did. He's trying hard to take initiative again and be closer to me, but it feels like it's too late. How can I handle this? I'm giving him hope with this therapy while considering to break things off because of the engagement thing. Can I forgive this and move on? And look, I don't think that you've, like you said, given up. I think you've just realized what the situation is clearly now. He proposed from feeling obligated rather than being genuine with you. So, like you said, it's not an actual proposal at all. It just feels like he's going through the motions. And do you really want that? I mean, it's been 6 years. I mean, at some point, you either know or you don't. Like, I get it. You need time to figure things out. But 6 years seems a bit wild to me. And, you know, he actually just sat there and watched her plan the whole wedding while secretly having these doubts at the same time. It just felt cruel. And the proposal is one thing, then there's everything else where, you know, she's initiating everything, planning everything, carrying the emotional load. The bar is literally on the floor at this point. So, you know, you've got to question that whole thing, right? And ask yourself, is this what you want for your future? But a deleted user says, don't help, trust your gut. If after 6 years together he's not ready to make you his partner for life, he may never be, and you'll be waiting around for nothing. He already told you how he felt, and at that point, while I can absolutely see his argument about being too young, he lacks the balls to have an honest discussion with you about timelines. Gloomy says, you have therapy booked for Monday. Bring this post in and discuss it there. See what he says. I mean, I really don't see this working out, but since you're already going, get it all out in the open. Another user says, don't waste your youth on a man that is settling for you. You're a placeholder for him. I guarantee that if you stay, he will eventually find someone else, leave you and marry her within a year. You are not the one he sees a future with, but he won't break up because he doesn't want to be alone. He's doing the bare minimum to keep you until he finds who he really wants. You deserve to be the be-all and end-all in someone's life. Don't let this man use you and waste your time. And one more comment from Second, who says, you're on different levels in this relationship and that's not right. You need someone who's committed, and he definitely isn't. Usually I would advise counseling, but the fact that he said he would give it back when he felt ready means he's not in the relationship right now. Do you really want to wait for him to be ready? Is he worth the wait? Because based on what you've described, you seem to be doing all the heavy lifting in your duo when he just goes with the flow, if even that. I wouldn't push someone into a relationship he doesn't want, but I also wouldn't want to wait for them to change their minds. All in all, do what is best for you. In matters of love, we get to be selfish. I honestly think he would be relieved to break up with you. So around 18 days later, OP does update the post and says, figured I'd post an update to this. I read many comments and they really helped me. Thank you for sharing your experiences. That opened my eyes. So yeah, TLDR, he wasn't ready when proposing. He won't admit it, but I'm pretty sure it was a shut up ring. Which is sad because I never really cared about marriage in the first place. Now, We went to therapy. I said the same things as I've written in the previous post. He struggled to answer any questions, didn't really say anything that he hadn't before. Therapist suggested we would try living separately, but I think she could tell we're going to break up soon. Lol. I took a few days to think, but finally broke up with him about a week after writing the first post. And it kind of broke me to see his reaction. At first, he was really dramatic, constantly tried to make himself the victim. Something about us being a ship that's sinking. I'm about to jump and give up, but he's still holding on tightly. Accused me of not giving him the chance, now that he actually wants to do something and change. I had to remind him a few times that he's the one who broke my heart first. He lied for months and took the ring back. Then more dramatics, crying, etc. But the next day, everything was normal. He was behaving like nothing happened. No more fighting for this relationship or even being hurt. He said, "We're going to be good friends," and acted like nothing's happened. Over the next few days, I would occasionally get comments like, "If anyone asks what happened, I can't say we broke up. I have to say you broke my heart and left me. Or at least you stopped pretending you loved me." Other than that, no crying, no arguments, he was acting as per usual. It just broke my heart again to see how he didn't even try. That he really didn't care much. Shouldn't be surprised really, yet here we are. I asked him 3 times to move out, gave him a deadline of 2 weeks, so 3 weeks since he took the ring back. He acted hurt, said, "Wow, I didn't expect you'd want to get rid of me so soon," but didn't really start looking. You know what actually made him get a flat and leave? My parents telling him to fuck off, because he lived here in their home this whole time, without paying any bills. They took him in like a son. They told him to pack his shit and to never come back. Since then, he's been acting offended that they treated him like that and he had to leave. He moved out yesterday. I helped him with moving. I'm on my own now, after 6.5 years without one man. New year, new me, I guess. But yeah, thanks to everyone who commented and read my story. Not gonna lie, I would love some encouragement. It feels like a part of me has been ripped from me. I need to know this feeling will go away. P.S. He found the first post and read the comments. He wanted to post his own comment to show his side of things, but thankfully gave up. Lol. And I don't blame OP one bit for being out of that situation. And I think, it can only get better for OP because everything that they were saying, it just sounded awful, didn't it? There was part of me which, not trying to diagnose or anything like that, and as always, it never excuses the behavior, etc. It sounded very much along the lines of depression with the emotional numbness, the lack of initiative, etc., etc. Again, never an excuse for it, but just thinking about it, it does sound along those lines. And if that is the case, I genuinely do hope that he gets some kind of help, but OP needed to save herself first in this situation. But what do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Let's have one more story. Now this next story is from the Best of No Updates subreddit. So, if you want to skip this one, please feel free to do so. There is mentions of COVID in this because it was around that period of time. It's from Rods of God 1945 and says, "Boyfriend's friend had pizza delivered to our apartment during a dinner party I spent all day on." Let me start by saying I love hosting dinner parties and cooking. It brings me so much joy and I love doing it. I also am obsessed with Hamilton. So when my boyfriend told me he wanted to host another couple for a watch party, I was beyond excited. It's obviously COVID, so I was excited to have a small group and do what I love, which is cook and host. I prepared the following: pink lemonade jello shots, a cheese board featuring prosciutto roses, shrimp scampi, and key lime graham cracker cake. I was beyond proud of the meal. Now for the guests. Names have been changed. Joyce, late 20s, and Matt, mid 30s. They're a wild couple. They fight all the time and it's awkward. I do really like Joyce and we've hung out with her a lot, but I do not like Matt. Everything was great until it was time to serve the scampi. Matt knew what the courses were because I told Joyce what we were having. He told me he did not like shrimp, which I understood and offered to serve him pasta without the shrimp, or prepare something different for him quickly. He declined and said he was fine with all the other food. I thought, great, no problem then. We finished eating and started watching the film. Towards the middle, Matt took a call and stepped out of the apartment. He came back with 2 pizzas. He created a huge scene in the middle of the film. I was beyond upset. I spent all day preparing everything and worked so hard, just for him to have a pizza delivered. It ruined the rest of the evening for me. I want to talk to Joyce and let her know how upset I was about the situation. I didn't know if I should or not, but it really did crush me to work so hard, and it was supposed to be a big deal because we haven't been able to do anything like this since quarantine started. Browsing says, in quotes, I want to talk to Joyce and let her know how upset I was about the situation, and says, this is likely part of the reason why Matt does shit like this. Apparently neither of you or your boyfriend are willing to call him out when he's an arsehole. Don't tattle to Joyce hoping she'd discipline her boyfriend. Tell him directly that he was rude and won't be welcome in your home in the future. Another commenter says, that is rude. Doing it without telling you until the pizza arrives is because he wanted to make a show out of it. But the problem isn't Joyce, so I don't know why you're talking to her, to deal with it. The only reason to talk to her is to say, Matt is the problem. If he's your boyfriend's friend, then you talk to your boyfriend to deal with him. If he's your friend, well, he isn't, so don't invite him around. You can have Joyce without him. Me, I'll just not invite him around. Gym leader Mia says, I'll be honest here. None of what you made sounds good to me, because that's not the food that I'll eat. But it also doesn't sound very filling. Without the shrimp scampi, which I definitely wouldn't assume Joyce told him was planned, I cannot stand the smell of seafood and would have lost my appetite while you guys ate. I would have picked at things until you I'm happy. I'd never feel okay asking you to make something different for me. He waited for a while then ordered food he knows he can eat and will eat. Didn't ask you to pay for any of it. Maybe he figured 2 pizzas in case you guys were still hungry too. That way he had something to contribute to this dinner party. I'll be honest, you sound you're not the kind of person I'd want as a friend. You're upset because you put time into all these incredibly different dishes without finding out if your guests like any of it beforehand. And get upset when they're still hungry and want to talk to his girlfriend because his behavior upset you. Nah, man. But now I'm going to turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And just a huge thank you for being here today, getting involved in the stories, your love, your support, your time. It always means the absolute world to me. So thank you so much for being here. And hopefully I'm going to see you in the next one. Take care and much love.